Picture a fisherman named Andrew, standing by the Sea of Galilee, his hands worn from casting nets, his heart restless for something more. This is the story of Andrew, the first disciple to hear Jesus' call, the quiet seeker who brought others to the Messiah. In a world hungry for hope, Andrew's journey from a small village to the ends of the earth shows us what it means to follow with courage. Let's discover the life of the Apostle Andrew, whose faith still inspires millions. Before Jesus entered his life, Andrew was a fisherman from Bethsaida, a small village by the Sea of Galilee. He worked alongside his brother, Simon, later known as Peter, casting nets day after day to provide for their family. Andrew was a man of quiet strength, curious and open-hearted, always seeking something greater than the daily grind. Unlike his bold brother, Andrew was reflective, a listener, someone who noticed the small details others might miss. Andrew's life changed forever, around 30 AD, when he became a follower of John the Baptist. Hungry for truth, he listened to John's fiery sermons about the coming Messiah. One day, while standing by the Jordan, John pointed to a man walking nearby and declared, "Behold, the Lamb of God." That man was Jesus of Nazareth. Captivated, Andrew and another disciple followed Jesus, spending the day with him, listening to his words of hope and love. It was a moment that set Andrew's heart ablaze. He ran to find his brother Simon, exclaiming, "We have found the Messiah!" Why did Andrew follow Jesus? It was Jesus' presence, his compassion, his authority, his vision of a kingdom where all could find forgiveness. Andrew saw in Jesus the answer to his deepest longings. As one of the first disciples called, Andrew left his nets behind, choosing a life of faith over certainty. Jesus taught him through parables, miracles and quiet moments, shaping Andrew's gentle spirit into one of courage and conviction. Andrew learned to trust, to serve, and to share the good news. In the Gospels, Andrew appears at pivotal moments. In John 1, he's the eager disciple who brings Simon to Jesus. In Mark 1, he's called alongside Peter to become a fisher of men. He's there in John 6, pointing out the boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish before Jesus feeds the 5,000. And in John 12, Andrew helps introduce Greek seekers to Jesus, showing his heart for connecting others to his Lord. When Jesus was crucified, Andrew's world shattered. The Gospels don't say exactly where he was, but as a devoted disciple, he likely stood at a distance, heartbroken, watching his teacher die. When Jesus rose on the 3rd day, Andrew's faith was reignited. Tradition holds he was among the disciples who saw the risen Christ, receiving the Great Commission to spread the gospel to all nations. After Jesus ascended, Andrew became a fearless missionary. Early Christian writings, like the Acts of Andrew, suggest he traveled far, through modern-day Turkey, Greece, and possibly Scythia, the lands north of the Black Sea. He preached with boldness, planting seeds of faith in cities and villages, always pointing people to Jesus. His quiet humility made him a powerful witness, drawing others to the love he'd found. Andrew's journey ended in Patras, Greece, around 60 to 70 AD. Condemned for his faith, he was crucified on an X-shaped cross, now called the Saint Andrew's Cross. Tradition says he preached from that cross for 2 days, urging onlookers to follow Christ until his final breath. Andrew spent his life sharing the hope he'd found that day by the Jordan, a legacy that echoes through the ages. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Andrew's life. Subscribe for the next episode, where we'll explore the story of another apostle who walked with Jesus. Until then, keep seeking, keep sharing, and keep the faith.